What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I wanted to talk about you have to stop comparing yourself to others. Everyone has their own path, everyone has their own uniqueness to them, everyone has their own desires, their own goals, what they want to do. My goals, what I want to do, may be completely different to what you want to do or what someone else on the internet wants to do, right? Because I notice this very often. Everyone likes to think that they need to follow some sort of rigid path or some rigid routine to reach what some form of success in whatever they want to do. I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all. So there's this quote from a former Chinese leader, right? His name was Deng Xiaoping, right? And he once has his famous quote. It's a very iconic quote. It goes by, "It doesn't matter if the cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." And what he means by it is he means results over communist ideology, right? And of course, China was very, just I guess a brief little history lesson. China was kind of a communist totalitarian regime, similar to how modern day North Korea is like. And China was also one of the poorest countries in the world. What did Deng Xiaoping do? He decided, hey, why don't we become rich like Japan, like South Korea, like Singapore? Why can't we get rich like those countries by opening up and having some sort of capitalist things going on in our economy so we could grow it and become rich as like them? And that's why he came up with that quote, right? With the results over ideology. And obviously, now bringing this back into a more smaller scale, right? I'm building a personal brand, right? On YouTube. I'm running my own AI automation business. I'm training combat sports, right? I'm learning French. You might enjoy helping patients, right? You might enjoy helping patients. You might volunteer abroad, right? You might, instead of for physical activity, you might play tennis. It's not my cup of tea, but it might be your cup of tea, right? And the point of what I'm saying is that don't just force yourself in some sort of rigid direction or rigid path, right? Don't just think that you have to follow everyone else's routine, right? So you have to wake up at what? You have to wake up at 3 in the morning like Tim Cook from Apple. You have to grind from 16 hours a day. And I highly recommend it if you want to get successful. But I'm not saying you have to like follow the routine, everyone else's routine on what you need to do to become successful because of what Tom Brady did. As much as I wasn't the biggest fan of him when I watched him play, but what Tom Brady did as a routine to get him ready might be different than what Michael Jordan would do with the Chicago Bulls. So just think of it that way. So find what works for you, right? So I thought about making this video because I used to I used to like there was a time that I would wake up at like 5:30, 5 a.m. and go straight to work at my computer. And there's nothing wrong with it. But I found myself miserable. Like I was not in a good mood. I was negative. I was just like, fuck this. And because I was following someone else's routine, right? And then I realized, oh, okay, maybe I need to do what works for me. Maybe what's working for that other person is not working for me. So how I start my days now is I go for walks outside. That's some sort of buffer for me from going from bed to desk. Instead of going from bed to desk, I go from bed to brushing my teeth, washing my face, taking some creatine, having a coffee, and then going on a walk outside, right, for a bit. I live near a park, so I'll walk in the park, I'll do some pull-ups, and then I'll come back in and I'll start doing work. At least that's what I find that works better with me. Some people might be okay with going from bed to desk. That's the point, right? And that's the thing, right? I might lift weights, I might train combat sports, but you might prefer tennis. You might prefer body weight workouts over doing what I do. But as long as it gets you fit and it catches mice, that's what matters, right? That's what matters, is you want to catch the mice, right? And that's the point. That's the point of what I'm telling you here. Is just you don't want to just stay on a rigid routine. And it's okay to see other people's routines, because that's what I do. I see other people's routines, or I see something that I can take from it as like a tool, right? I don't take everything from the routine. Like I might hear, remember I took from someone's routine in morning meditation. I do it, it works for me because I have a goal of being composed. I see myself as being someone who's who's gonna stay composed under pressure, right? So I meditate. But some people don't want to meditate, or they don't need to meditate, I guess. So it's up to someone. It's up to the specific person on what they should do. Another thing, me learning multiple languages, right? I'm learning my third language, French. Well, I could speak it. I could still get better at it, but I could speak it. I have a basic conversation with someone. That's not everyone's cup of tea. Someone might be focusing on coding, programming languages all day. That I would find very boring if I was doing that all day. If I was just coding programming languages all day, every day, I would probably not enjoy it. If I had to operate patients all day, that's not something I would like doing, because that's just not my cup of tea. So what's your cup of tea, and what gets you to, what can you do without much discipline? Really what I'm saying. And of course, at first, it takes discipline to do it, but what's something that you do regardless of what's stopping you? And just think of how can you catch mice, right? Your version of catching mice. You don't have to follow some sort of rigid path. You could take other people's stuff as a tool, but you create your own routine around it. That's the point of what I'm making. And I just want to leave it there. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to make more videos like this. Subscribe.